I think that this is where the government has failed in a large part in being able to deliver the ramifications of the treaty in a way that is easily understood, because by failing to do that, unfortunately, it has been open to perhaps interpretations that will not materialize, negative interpretations that will not materialize and do have the potential to scare people in our community.
You think that the government's communications around the treaty have been insufficient to keep people's concerns at bay?
I believe so, because there are a number of concerns, and I will go through them now. But I think that in large part there has been a lack of communication which has contributed to this sort of anxiety about the treaty. And I think that it's a shame, because it's the last thing we need right now, especially among all the Brexit pandemonium that we have at the moment anyway.
In your statement, you say that any country is better off with a tax treaty than without it. So in that respect, are you congratulating the government for achieving this with Spain?
Well, I think in general, like I say, any Western democracy is better off with a treaty than without one. And the tax treaty affords us a legitimacy from Spain, something that we would deserved anyway. But the fact that we have it now opens doors in terms of the perception from Spain and the messages that Spain should be putting out now with the tax treaty to the wider world about Gibraltar, and that's always a good thing for Gibraltar. So in that sense, in principle, a tax treaty is better than no tax treaty. And I think that it's something that, as long as we can be comfortable with, is a positive step for Gibraltar going forward.
Despite that, you've called it punitive and one-sided in Spain's favour.
There are various points from the tax treaty that can be summarized as punitive and one-sided. For example, the fact that a Spanish tax resident, a Spanish national, will always be a Spanish national, even if they move to Gibraltar. That is effectively like a tax on citizens, and this is something that does come across as punitive, because you don't get that in other countries of the world when people move from one country to another.